Just tell me your name and your specialism.
Andrew Keane, I don't have a specialism.
You don't have a specialism?
No.
How do you mean that?
Don't have one.
You're an author, so...
I'm an author, but I don't have a specialism.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit more about the books you write?
I write books which are critical of digital culture.
Right.
So Cult of the Amateur, which was slightly amateurish, which is why I don't really have a specialization. Digital Vertigo, which is a creative take on our increasingly collaborative digital culture.
Because critical is something you really are, I think.
Yeah. That's my specialism.
I saw your presentation and you really tortured my mind about social choices I make.
Tortured your mind?
I guess a little bit, yes.
Why?
Why? Because you really warned me about the choices I make, things I put on the internet and things I don't put on the internet.
Well, that means my talk was successful. I'm happy I tortured your mind. That's the purpose of my work, is to torture people's minds.
But what is the thing you are afraid of that is going to happen?
I'm afraid that we'll lose our depth as human beings if we tell the world everything about ourselves, if we reveal everything. That the death of privacy is also, in an odd way, the death of man.
You love the mystery of the human being.
I like the mystery. I think that's what makes us, as a species, so interesting. And I fear that if we lose that mystery, we're losing whatever it is that makes us unique as a species.
Is this something you want to warn us about, or is it something about you really think that it's going to happen during now and 5 years?
No, it won't happen in 5 years, but the digital technology is moving so fast, often in a way that most of us don't understand. And if we do put everything about ourselves on the network, and if we do carry around devices that follow everything we do and know everything about us, then we are increasingly making ourselves more and more vulnerable to people watching us, companies, governments, other individuals.
At this moment, everybody goes online and just put all his details and all his personal stuff on the internet. But do you believe that there's coming another movement from another direction with people who think just as you?
I think there are a lot of people who are very uncomfortable with networks like Facebook, which idealize transparency and which profit from our transparency. I think there will be a pushback, absolutely. I'm not a Luddite. I'm not saying we should do away with our devices. They're central to our lives and hard to live without. But I do think that more and more creative people, young people, are asking questions about the kind of lives that require us to be so visible all the time.
Because you really say something like you got to draw a line. How can you recognize that line?
Well, everyone needs to take responsibility themselves. It's not for me to say where that line is. Everyone needs to think for themselves what they should and shouldn't reveal about themselves. And that line is something that we need to think about. It's inappropriate for me to tell people where they should draw that line, but I would also challenge everybody who says that there isn't a need for that line.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, on the other side, I'm a student from Communication and Multimedia Design, and a lot of other students are watching right now. Is there something you want to say to them, something you want to tell them?
Well, I would say to them, read my book.
Well, that's pretty clear. Can you tell me your Twitter account?
AJ Key. I'm at AJ Keen. Follow me on Twitter, buy my book, allow me to support myself as an author. But read the book and tell me what you think about it. It's a provocative book. It's the first book to seriously question the Web 3.0 revolution of ubiquitous personal data. It challenges Facebook. And I think that most people, except the real hardcore utopians who think that the death of privacy is a good thing, most people will agree with some of it. And I think it's a book that will create an interesting conversation, debate about the value of what increasingly is becoming a collective web. Most of all, I'm protecting and defending the individual. the thoughtful individual, the solitary individual, the individual that is able to escape from public opinion. In the digital age.
That's the other side of the story. It's true that a lot of information is coming free on the internet, but on the other hand, it's very easy to get in touch with people and get very interesting conversations.
Yeah, I'm not saying people should switch off. The internet's a good place to meet people, although I would suggest people also go outside and meet people. And much of the building of relationships on the internet doesn't always work out. You don't really meet people online. So I wouldn't rely on the internet to meet people. I think there's more effective ways of meeting people. I do think, though, the internet's a good way to keep up with people, to reintroduce yourself to people. So I'm certainly not against the internet.
No. All right. Thank you very much. That's pretty clear.